if you want to look like this video isn't for you. But if you want to have a lean, aesthetic physique like these guys, then keep watching. Because the guys who look like this aren't doing more than everyone else. Actually, they're doing a lot less than you think. And I say this after coaching over 1,200 guys and being in shape myself for 15 years. To get this level of physique, you don't need to micromanage every calorie and spend 2 hours in the gym 6 days a week. You just need to follow 3 simple rules. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what those rules are, so let's dive right into it. The first one is what I call the default diet rule. And this is probably the single biggest reason your diet keeps falling apart. Most guys who struggle to get a lean physique don't have a knowledge problem. They lack systems and routines. If your diet requires you to think every single day about what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat, it's just a matter of time until you fall off. And it's not about how healthy it is. Thinking is a limited resource, and every decision you spend micromanaging food choices is draining your mental energy and making it harder to stay on track. There's a concept in psychology called decision fatigue. The more decisions you make throughout the day, the worse they get. And most people burn through their decision energy by dinner time. And that's when all the damage happens. You're tired, so instead of putting together a high-protein, healthy meal, you just DoorDash whatever you feel like eating or end up grabbing random snacks. The default diet removes this problem entirely. And nearly every person I know who's gotten lean and stayed lean for years uses some version of this approach. The idea is very simple. 80% of your calories come from the same predefined short list of staple meals, and 20% of your calories come from social events, dinners out, or when life requires flexibility. So let's say you eat 3 meals a day. That's 21 meals a week. 16 or 17 of those are the same every week, and the other 4 to 5 are flexible. And I know some people will think that sounds boring, and yeah, it kind of is. But it's also extremely effective and removes all the daily micromanagement, making consistency with nutrition much easier. Personally, my first meal of the day has been the same for the last 6-7 years. It's 0% Greek yogurt with some berries, fruits, and nuts. It's 550 calories with 55 grams of protein. I eat that every single morning. Our dinners rotate between 4 to 5 different options every week, and that's it. And on the weekends, we eat out for a meal or two and don't stress about it. Tracking intake becomes easy because you only need to account for the 20% of the stuff that's different every week. And the main benefit of the default diet is that you only have to set it up once. Afterwards, your diet basically runs on autopilot. In long term, you just make small adjustments to your carbs and fats when you need to reduce or increase your calories. That's how nutrition goes from your biggest problem to something that's not that hard to manage. And by the way, if you'd like my help to set this up for your specific situation, details for coaching to work with me are in the description below. Now, the second rule is training for the highest return on investment. If you've been going to the gym consistently for a while now, but still don't have an aesthetic physique, this is probably why. Most guys in the gym do too many exercises and too many sets, never really pushing hard on any of them. And when results stall, what do? They look for new splits, more new exercises, and more volume. But muscle growth isn't driven by junk volume and tons of variety. It's driven by how hard each set is and whether you're progressing over time. 2 hard sets beats 5 easy sets, and with 8 or 10 different movements in a session, nothing gets enough intensity to actually grow. Guys keep doing the same weight for the same reps for months and years, and they leave every session thinking they've trained hard because they're tired, but being tired isn't the same as giving your muscles a reason to grow. So if you want results, my advice is to do less, but do it better. It's applying the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of what you do. And in the gym, that means the first 2 to 3 sets of an exercise are doing almost all the work for your physique. So don't spread yourself too thin. Commit to 4 to 5 exercises per workout and focus most of the work on the weakest link in your physique. For me, that was always chest and shoulders. Once I developed those two, my entire physique suddenly transformed. I'm not saying to completely neglect other muscle groups, but for example, if you're happy with the size of your legs, you don't need to squat 3 times a week like a powerlifter. Apply the 80-20. It's perfectly fine to hit lower body once a week and spend the other workouts on your weak areas. And if you look at guys like Bruce Lee or Ryan Reynolds and Blade, what gets you an aesthetic physique are wider shoulders and a lean, narrow waist. And to get that look, you need to progress your overhead presses and lateral raises for shoulders, incline dumbbell or barbell presses for upper chest, chin-ups and rows for back width and thickness. and you only need 3 hard sets on each one. You get in, get out in 45 minutes. Do that 3 to 4 times per week, hit the like button, and keep doing it for a very long time. That's how my clients who train 3 days a week end up looking better than most guys who train 6 days. And this brings me to the third rule, which is the key to having a great physique long term. I call it the one cut rule. If you approach your fitness the right way, you only need to endure one hard cut. That's it. A full cleanup to get you down to the aesthetic physique range. For most guys, that's getting down to 12 to 16% body fat, where you're lean enough to see visible definition and how your physique develops over time, but not so lean that you're miserable, hungry all the time, and lose performance in the gym. And once you're in that range, you never have to do a long diet again. No more big bulks, no more aggressive cuts, or large swings in your body weight. To give you an example, when I started my fitness journey, I was around 200 pounds, 91 kilos. After my first big cut, the aesthetic physique range for me was 155 to 165 pounds, so 70 to 75 kilos at 5'10", 178 centimeters. I didn't have that much muscle, but as I built more muscle, the range went up to 165 to 175 pounds, 75 to 79 kilos. And now, many years later, with even more muscle, I stay between 175 to 185 pounds, 79 to 84 kilos. Whether I'm at the low end or the high end of the range, I still look good. And if my average weight goes above that for a few weeks, I know it's time to tighten up. Not cutting my calories in half or adding 5 hours of cardio, I just drop 200 to 300 calories and walk an extra 3 to 4K steps for a couple of weeks. It takes almost no effort to get back to where I look great and feel great, because I never let things get to a point where I need a 6-month cut. And the long-term goal is simple. You want to minimize time in a calorie deficit, slowly improve your lifts, and let time do the work. You want to get to a place where you're healthy and look great on any random day of the week. And when you can do that without micromanaging everything, you've made it. Now, there's one mistake most guys make when they first try to get lean that costs them months and years of progress. So check out this video next, where I show you how to avoid it and finally get results.